You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. Be sure to smash that like button. So for the first time in fall camp, LSU's two quarterbacks that are competing for the starting job, Jayden Daniels and Garrett Nussmeier, met with the media. And the most obvious first question is whether or not a starter had been named. First up, here's Jayden Daniels' answer.
Have they told you you're the starter yet?
They haven't. They haven't announced anything.
Pretty succinct. And maybe I could go into semantics. And the question was, have they told you you're the starter? He said they haven't announced anything. Well, we know they haven't announced anything, but they've told you you're the starter. So we'll take him at face value and say no. They did also ask Garrett Nussmeier the same question if Jayden had been named the starter.
Have they told you that Jayden was going to be the starter?
Have they told you that?
No.
Oh, man, I ain't heard nothing about that. Like I said, we're focused on winning games. So you probably know more than I know about the situation. So
very savvy for a young guy. He's a redshirt freshman, but let's not forget, he is the son of a coach. He has been around high-level football his entire life, and I like that a lot about Garrett Nussmeier. I will say that a big part of this whole Miles Brennan circumstance is that it does, in many respects, clear the deck. I am not ever going to say that your team is better without having quarterback depth, without having a guy who was being the sixth year. I mean, if you got the luxury of a sixth-year senior as your number 3 quarterback, that's a luxury not many programs have. So I'm never going to say it's a good thing. If you're looking to spin it to the positive is it does kind of clear the deck because now we know it's 2. It's down to Daniels and Nussmeier, Nussmeier and Daniels, however you want to say it and however it may go. But here we go, and we should learn more after the scrimmage on Wednesday. Jayden Daniels talking about the quarterback room that they have at LSU with Nussmeier, and now Walker Howard.
not just me, but keeping all the quarterbacks on our P's and Q's. We have a great room. It doesn't matter who's going to start here. I know that we all helped each other prepare the best that we can, to go out there and help the team win. So for me personally, just come here and teaching Nuss and them the things I have, just in case, they are the starter, that they can learn from older guys that play some years. They're great players, great guys. So really just on that leadership part.
And it's great to hear that as a veteran guy, he's helping the younger guys. But the other part of this, too, that I keep harping on is, you're at the point where you got to make a decision. And Brian Kelly knows this, you're at the point in camp where whenever we have ever seen a situation like this, where you had a battle, eventually you have to pare down the reps. You get to the point where you can't rotate 3 or even 2 guys every single rep with the first team. Even if it becomes an 80-20 split with the guy that's going to be the starter, at some point you've got to pare down the reps to get the guy the reps to go be ready to go play and win a football game for you. So that's what Jayden Daniels was asked about, the importance of Wednesday's scrimmage in the quarterback battle, the scrimmage that's going to happen Wednesday morning in Tiger Stadium.
Us in the quarterback room, we don't really look at it as a competition. You could look at it as another opportunity to go out there and get better and help the team get better, because at the end of the day, we run the offense. The coach is going to be on the sidelines in the skybox. At the end of the day, everything is solely focused on us. So we look at it as, how can we help the offense? And at the end of the day, like I said, everybody's prepared to play the position and prepared to be the starter. That's all we worked on. That's a relationship that we all built to go out there. But I feel like Wednesday, as a team overall, to go out there and just see us compete. At the end of the day, we got to compete. We got a game in 2 weeks around there. So be able to go out there and just have that feeling of a scrimmage is a big thing for us.
2 weeks from Sunday, y'all. 2 weeks from Sunday. Like, you've got to get to the point where, yes, you want to get the feeling of competing and you want to get better as a team, but you've got to know this answer. And Brian Kelly and the staff have to know the answer. Even if they don't tell us, they've got to know the answer. So same question went to Garrett Nussmeier about the importance of Wednesday's scrimmage.
It's just another practice. It's the mindset you got to have, right? Just another opportunity to step in between the 2 lines and go play football. The game doesn't change just because it's a scrimmage. A scrimmage in a game is practice reps. So, if you think about it that way, then you're always prepared.
Garrett Nussmeier, again, talking about the scrimmage. A couple of other points from the conversation the two quarterbacks had with the media today. One of the big questions that, if there's two real objections that I've heard about Jayden Daniels, it's he's inaccurate and he's a run-first quarterback. They asked Jayden about that. Like, is he being unfairly labeled as a running quarterback?
I mean, I don't really pay attention to that type of stuff. But I mean, I hear at the end of the day, everybody has cell phones and stuff like that, so it's going to pop up. But just being here, just the main thing is just being the best version of me. If that's a part of my game, running. I mean, it's times where I could stay in there a little bit longer. Something that we've been working on, Coach Kelly, Denbrock, Coach Sloan, with all those type of things. But that's not just me, that's just everybody. They don't want us to lose who we are at the end of the day, what makes us what we are, how we got here. So, I mean, it's just fine-tuning the little things so at the end of the day we can go out there and help the team win.
So, by the way, I don't know if he's unfairly labeled a run-first quarterback, but he does undeniably have that skill set as a runner. If you asked me, put now three scholarship quarterbacks and say, who rate their skill sets, release, accuracy, arm strength, running ability, footwork, all of it. Okay, put them all. Like if you categorize, like if it's a baseball player with 5 tools, okay? Think of all those tools with all 3 quarterbacks and say who has the best one of any of these things. I would tell you it's a close battle between Jayden Daniels' running ability and Walker Howard's release, based on what we've been able to see. It just looks different coming out of Walker Howard's hand, and it looks different when Jayden Daniels takes off and run. As a runner, as a freshman, he ran for 355 yards. As a sophomore, again, COVID year, he only ran 33 times. It was a shrunken schedule. But last year, he averaged 5. That sophomore year, he averaged nearly 7 yards a carry. Again, smaller sample size. Last year, he averaged better than 5 yards a carry and ran for 710 yards. The point being, with this offensive line, which we don't know how good they're going to be, and ear to ground, you hear mixed things like the LSU defensive line is having their way right now with this offensive line. Is that because the defensive line is really good, which, by the way, I think they're going to be spectacular, or the offensive line struggling? Probably a combination of the two. So you may need a quarterback who can make plays with his feet. Thus the appeal of a guy like Jayden Daniels or Garrett Nussmeier who can run and make plays with their feet. So even though he may not be labeled or like the label as a running quarterback, the fact that he can make plays with his feet does matter. Now, the label that Nussmeier has is, what's the word? What's the word everybody uses when they talk about Garrett Nussmeier? Oh, he's got that gunslinger mentality. Here was Nussmeier on being a gunslinger.
I mean, that's something I've said before. I think it got lost in translation a little bit, as far as, I'm still going to, take shots, and any quarterback should, When they're given to you, though, I think is the biggest thing that I've learned is take them when they're given to you, take them when you're supposed to take them, and just continue to lead the offense and move the chains is what I've been taught my whole life.
Guys, we got to know Myles Brennan over the last 5 years. And it's part of the reason he was such a sentimental favorite, because he's been here for so long. We all feel like we knew him. And we're pulling for him. One of the two guys you just heard is going to be LSU starting quarterback. And at some point, it may be either or both of them. You got to start to get to know the two guys that are going to lead this offense in the first year under Brian Kelly, and hopefully back to prominence. It starts officially today with these two guys. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.